Welcome back to Hardball. Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell kept his caucus in lockstep last week, as you know, and derailed the president's jobs bill, which would have saved 400,000 jobs for firefighters, police officers, and teachers. When asked to defend his action, McConnell offered his own perspective on it.
The question is whether the federal government ought to be raising taxes on 300,000 small businesses in order to send money down to bail out states for whom firefighters and police work. They are local and state employees.
Well, he gave the president a tool right there, a weapon, if you will. Speaking at a fundraiser yesterday, President Obama called out Senator McConnell by name for calling the jobs bill a bailout. Let's listen.
But all the Republicans in the Senate said no. Their leader, Mitch McConnell, said that, and I'm going to make sure I quote this properly, saving the jobs of teachers and cops and firefighters was just, I quote, a bailout. A bailout. These aren't bad actors who somehow screwed up the economy. They didn't act irresponsibly. These are the men and women who teach our children, who patrol our streets, who run into burning buildings and save people. They deserve our support.
Well, they are laying off a lot of police officers, and the president called out McConnell again today at a San Francisco fundraiser. So Obama versus McConnell, is this a fight the president wants to have? Joan Walsh is out there. She's editor-at-large of Salon. I guess it's always smart to pick your opponent. He has taken a good look at Mitch McConnell, his absolute negativity, his absolute partisanship, and he said, this guy is who I want in the ring with me, right?
Absolutely. And, you know, it's totally fair, Chris, because it didn't just start last week. I mean, you remember this. The New York Times had a great story about how Mitch McConnell, in the dead of winter, before the president was inaugurated, he had a 70% approval rating. Republicans were terrified. And he brought them together, the Senate Minority Caucus, and he said, if we stick together with 40 votes, we can block him. And he knew that the president, for better or worse, had campaigned on a promise of bipartisanship. And he was smart enough to know, hey, guess what? To be bipartisan, you need a partner. And he committed his caucus to blocking everything the president did. So this isn't some new battle that just got picked up last week. This is an old battle, and I'm very happy that the president is finally getting in the ring with this guy.
I think that people are paying attention. You know, there's a new poll that came out a couple days ago, it was last week, that showed that the public had paid attention to that fight over the debt ceiling. They didn't like the performances of Eric Cantor and all those Tea Party people on the right side, the Republican side. And they said, basically, we much prefer a Democrat-controlled majority in the Congress. So I think Mitch McConnell's caught off base on this. I don't think he looks too good.
Yes, I agree. No, and another thing.
Let's take a look at the president here, what he's out to. He's going to do the we can't wait plans. We're going to do things by executive order now, not wait for Congress. We won't do anything. Monday, he talked about mortgage relief. We saw that last night on this show. Today, he's talking about jobs for veterans. On Wednesday, he's talking about student relief. So it seems like on student loans, of course, which it's killing a lot of kids in their 20s and 30s now as they become young adults. It seems like he wants to show a positive face of what he can do without a nasty do-nothing Congress. At the same time, let everybody know they are a do-nothing Congress.
Right. And it's a very good strategy. I'm really happy to see him doing this. I mean, the other thing that we saw after the debt ceiling, Chris, is that polls said they wanted the president to fight back, that they actually, even Republican-leaning independents said, we want to see him fight. He shouldn't cave to these guys. They've gone too far. And so I think he saw the polls and he's now doing what's right and what's in his heart. I think that the student loan issue is exactly what you're saying. It's driving Occupy Wall Street. These kids are coming out of college and they're paying in student loans what people used to pay in mortgages for their first home, so they can't buy a first home. We've got veterans coming home, thank God, from Iraq. Wouldn't it be nice if they came home to jobs rather than unemployment? So these are winning issues, mortgage obviously as well. These are winning issues. He can do something on his own. I'm happy to see him taking that strategy and at the same time keeping the fight up and letting Americans know he tried to have a partner and he just couldn't find one.
Thanks a lot. It's great to have you on, Joan Walsh.